Do you want to know how I find Instagram influencers that almost always bring me a huge ROI? I'm going to tell you my little secret. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Zach, and if you're new to the channel, learn all the secrets of the e-commerce world simply by subscribing to my channel and hitting that little bell icon so you don't miss anything. And yeah, welcome back to my non-office area. Once again, I'm at my girlfriend's house, so things are a little bit weird. Got this tapestry. I'm actually recording on my phone and my screen's turned around, so I can't see if this framing is good, so let's hope. But the focus isn't going to be on me, the focus is going to be on my screen as I show you guys my strategy for finding the absolute best Instagram influencer. So you might have heard this, you might not. I know it's not talked about a lot, so that's why I'm going to talk about it today, because a lot of people don't know about this. And I actually just recently got a comment about this that really piqued my interest. So basically, what this involves is getting a little bit out there with our Instagram influencers, right? And doing something that not a lot of people do. Breaking the mold is always a great thing to do, or it's a great thing to do a lot of the time, not all the time. But this is one of those cases where it's awesome to do so. Right here I'm on Instagram, and I'm just going to show you what people generally do and why that's a bad thing. Sometimes it's not. Like, this isn't a surefire thing, but it like a good portion of the time it works really well, right? Just a little disclaimer. So we're down here on Instagram right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a hypothetical. Let's say my niche is, well, I already have it picked out. Let's say my niche is fishing, right? So what people do is they search for fishing. And let's say they go here, fishing, and they find pages with like 153,000. Let's go find some more. Fishinglife.ig, 313,000, or let's find one more. Fishing Kings, 169,000. I don't know if this was the first one I showed, I entirely forgot, but let's just say they have pages like this, right? 169,000 or up to 300,000 or up to 1 million, right? Pretty big pages. So these pages, while they may actually have pretty good engagement, actually this page has terrible engagement. It's below 1%. This is not good. So this page just in general is pretty bad. But let's go back to one page that doesn't suck. Okay, 313,000 followers. So minimum, they should have about 3,000 likes per picture. They can get up to 6,000 on some funny ones, 3,000 here. They actually have a lot of videos, and videos aren't liked that much because people watch them. So this is actually a really good page engagement-wise, right? They follow everything. I'm sure they're a legit page. Now, here's the thing. When you have big pages like this, the problem is that the followers of these pages are going to have seen advertisements before, right? So this page came up very near the top of where I searched fishing. And the problem with that is that a lot of people just do that and then advertise on these things. So when you're advertising to customers, the problem is they're going to have seen a lot of ads already, which means they're going to be less receptive towards your ads. As you can see right here, there's actually an ad on the page. Let me see what's going on with this. Oh, there's actually a good advertisement. Yeah, this is a lot better than a lot of advertisements I've seen. Okay, pretty nice. But as you can see, there's already an advertisement there. I think they delete the advertisements, so there's not going to be a backlog of them. But there's almost always going to be guaranteed an advertisement right now or within the past few days on these pages. So as I said, the customers aren't going to be as receptive towards advertisements because one, they'll already have seen the item that you're offering, so they're not as excited about it. Or two, they've just learned to kind of tune out advertisements. Because the problem with a lot of these pages is that they don't really limit the amount of advertisements they do. With some of the accounts that I've done business with, they're like, oh, I can pencil you in for like next week. And I'm like, Jesus, you have a backlog of advertisements that far? And they're like, yeah, I got it all booked. So they're putting out advertisements every single day. So their audience, it's not the best. They're not the most warm to it. Now, of course, this is not all inclusive to all advertisements and to all companies, right? You could still do really, really well on these accounts. What I'm saying is, if you want a more surefire way to succeed and a little less risky, I'm going to show you what I do. So what I do is I aim for smaller accounts, and I'm talking small. I'm talking sub 50,000, preferably sub 30,000 followers, between 10 and 30,000 followers. And what I found is with these accounts, accounts combined with about a 4-hour shout out, you can get ridiculously cheap shout outs. I'm talking like $10, and hit people that are super, super passionate and that haven't been given a lot of advertisements before, right? So like I said, this is an account that I probably wouldn't advertise on. Very good engagement. They got 4,000 views on this advertisement, but you know, it's not the best. I've picked out 2 accounts that are actually really, really good and fit within what I'm going for. So first one right here is fishing_fever. And while they are following, and it does look like they're using like follow liker to get a lot of their followers, they have a pretty good engagement. So with 17.5 thousand followers, an engagement rate that you generally want is about 2 to 3%. So 2% of 17.5 thousand followers is about 350 likes, and then we get up to about 425 likes for 3%, right? They get over that. They're at about 4%, 5%, up to 6% engagement. And look at this. This is even 1,000. Yeah, that's like 9% engagement. That's really, really good. So when you have engagement rates like this, it just shows that their followers are very, very passionate. So they're worth a lot of money, right? And look at the comments. There's 80 comments on this one, 35 on this one. This is actually a super nice page. Now, additionally, with these, the customers have not seen, or the followers have not seen advertisements a lot, right? Now, of course, they have like Kick for this. They want business, but there's not going to be a lot. For 17.5 thousand followers, there's not going to be that many people actually following or actually finding this account and doing shout outs. So when you're showing advertisements on here, I could for sure, when I do a 4-hour shout out, 4-hour shout outs, I definitely recommend. That's where you get like the most conversions in that time frame. I could get a shout out on this page for $10. Anything more than that, they're ridiculous. That's not going to happen. But for $10, generally my profit margins are going to be right around $10. So with $10 of a shout out, I make one sale, I make profit. Okay, anything else is great. And I'm going to have a much higher chance at converting with this account because 1, they've got super active followers, and 2, they wouldn't have seen many. Is this an advertisement? No, that's not an advertisement. It's just a little like engagement bait right there. Like, this is a pretty nice account for some awesome followers. Here, I'm going to show you the number 2 one. San Juana, Tanner Smith. Okay, I thought that was his name, but this is his thing. He's got 28.3 thousand followers, so a bit more than the 17,000 of right here. As you can see, it's just a guy. Now the thing is, he's got a link right here, so he might have his own business, and if they have their own business, generally they're not going to want to shout you out. I'm just showing a good example of an account. Like, don't mind the fact that he has his own business, right? So he's got 28.3 thousand followers. About 1% is 283, 2% is about 560, 3% is around 800 likes, right? He got 2,000 on his most recent one, 1,000, 1,500. That one hit 1,000. Like this guy regularly gets massive amounts of likes in comparison to his followers, and this is great. And it's even better because there's a face to the pictures, right? It's not just like a collective page where there's just a bunch of different content. No, it's this one guy. So if you can get an account with about this small followers and this many likes, that shows that people love this guy. They're following him, they're listening to everything he says, they love him so much. So if you can send him a product, like if we're doing fishing and I send him like a particular lure that I have, and he uses it and does a post, I can almost guarantee that we're gonna get at least a few sales off of this from the thousands of people that are liking his picture, and the even more thousands that are actually seeing the pictures. If he endorses something, we're going to get at least a couple purchases from that, right? This is just awesome. And for him also, we'd probably be looking at about $10, maybe $15 because of such a good engagement rate. But I'd be willing to pay $15 for a shout out of this caliber just because of the fact that we have a face and the fact that you know, the engagement rate is so high for the follower count. Now, we could even get a lower price if we send him the item, because generally smaller people like this are going to be a lot more open to saying like, hey, if we send you an item, can you do a shout out for us? A lot of the time they'll be like, oh yeah, if it's like worth it. Obviously, if it's a cheap item, they're not going to want to do it. But if it's a worthwhile item, they're going to be like, oh yeah, send it on over. I'd love to do that. And boom, there you go. You got like a $2 shout out because that's what the item costs you. And this guy's happy, everyone's happy, and they get to show like using the item, which is some great social proof. So we'll just go ahead and I'll show you. I just pulled up Social Blade right here so we can look at the follower gaining of these accounts. So as you can see, he's got some pretty decent organic growth, 360 followers the past month. That's pretty good. We'll come on over to Fishing Fever, just make sure this one's legitimate, and we'll see what they're gaining. This is always something you want to do. They're getting about 900 followers a month. That's great. They're using Follow Liker, but that's totally fine. Pretty consistent growth right here. I really like this. So both of these accounts are fantastic, and I'd highly recommend using them and using ones similar to these because like I said, you're going to get them for ridiculously cheap and the followers are going to be a hell of a lot more valuable. Now you will have fewer impressions, but like I said, they're more valuable, so you'll have a higher conversion rate and it's going to balance out and it's actually going to be better for you just overall. So if you want to learn how to make a high converting profitable Shopify business, I have a link to my course down in the description below. I also have a link to a free 14-day Shopify trial if you want to go ahead and get things started. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what I said and how I said it. Check out those videos to the side of me if you want some more ideas for what to watch, and I will see you guys around. Peace out.